Okay, so today's episode is a little different. A little different vibe, a little different groove from the typical episode. I occasionally splurge and get a facial. And for anyone who's automatically turned off, just bear with me, okay? So, I get a facial every so often, and the lovely Miss Michelle Nicole Gignilliat, and if you're listening to this, Michelle, I'm so sorry if I butchered your last name, but anyways, she gives me facials, and I don't know, the first time I went there, we just had a really good talk. She's so sweet, so knowledgeable and kind, and she's like a mother hen, you know, just want to she's just there for you and listens and talks. And anyways, so our conversation was just really good the first time I got a facial there, and I felt like we really hit it off, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you know what, like, let's make a podcast episode out of this. How about next time I come in, we hook up mics and we just record a conversation and just throw it out there. And she was so down for it, and it was fun, and yeah, but just a bit about Miss Michelle. She is a licensed esthetician, and she has over 13 years of experience in the beauty industry, and honestly, her work ethic blows my mind. Like, whenever I get up and leave from her business, which is the Lashery Beauty Bar in the lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee, I'll include links below for anyone who happens to be local and would like to check her out. I feel motivated, I feel lighter, I feel excited to pursue my own goals. I mean, she has built her own business from the ground up. She is incredibly artistic and talented and driven, and I really hope you listen to this episode and just kind of hear what she has to say and some of her story. And I don't know, I hope that you can go away from this episode. Get out. No, I hope you can leave this episode feeling that way as well, and just kind of like, yeah, I can kick butt. I'm gonna do whatever the heck I want. It's been a minute since I've edited this episode, but we are all over the place, but a lot of it's just kind of like personal experience and understanding balance, and I think self-motivation, and you also get to hear all the fun ASMR sounds of me getting a facial. My last note before we get started with this episode is that the audio quality is kind of trash. Okay, I shouldn't say trash. Please keep listening. It's not the best audio quality, and there's a little bit of a buzz in the background, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, think of it like a record, like the beauty of a record is partially the crappy, I won't go that far because some people get offended if I say record audio quality is bad, but my point is, I'm sure like when you listen to it, that kind of buzzing sound will go away, and I'm trying to not be a perfectionist, so I'm just going to post this podcast because, gosh darn it, we recorded it, I already edited it, and it was a good conversation. So without further ado, here is me and my friend Michelle. It's like ASMR too, I feel like, with the sheets and everything.
Yeah, right. We just need to.
Oh God.
Where did that stuff even come from, anyways?
Satan's butthole.
Probably. Like, all of a sudden, it was like everywhere. I was just like, but why?
I just wonder how long that gig will last for people who do ASMR.
I mean, is there good money in that?
I think there is. Some people have like millions of viewers or
really?
Subscribers, I mean.
Just like, I was going to say to annoy the crap out of someone, but that's just because that's how I find it, so. Okay.
I've always, whenever I've watched them, it's been more of a, wow, this is so weird. I'm just watching it just to witness this strangeness taking place. But then there's people who must turn that on before they go to sleep. Like, I'm going to bed, let me play my ASMR channel.
Well, I mean, I guess there's weirder things because I go to bed every night listening to true crime podcasts.
Oh my God.
So, and I get a good night's sleep. I do set the sleep timer, so it's not like it's in my subconscious all night long. But yeah, so there could be weirder things.
That's funny. Maybe that's good to like scare off any intruders. They'll just hear you listening to that in the dead sleep, and they'll be like, this is not someone's house I want to break into.
I know, right? I definitely will say that when I wake up in the middle of the night, that I am a little bit more paranoid than most people would be.
I wonder why.
Yeah. When I was pregnant, that's how I would fall asleep like every night. But I would make sure in the morning while I was getting ready for work, I would go back and listen to the entire episode. That way, like, I was respecting the dead.
Oh, wow.
Somehow that was better, you know, that I was getting my entertainment off of someone's murder, you know.
Oh, that's so true. That is interesting how certain things can be so entertaining. I was in the vortex of YouTube the other day, and somehow, like, you know how YouTube has those like things you can click where it's 30 seconds and it's brief?
Yes.
It was something about Honey Boo Boo, which they have that yes, they have that show going on still. Believe it or not.
Wait, they do?
They do. It's like a reboot though, kind of like Honey Boo Boo now. And this time it's not cute anymore. It's like drama and like, which is so depressing. But anyway,
what's happened when you introduce fame and money to people with zero class?
Oh goodness.
Surprise. It doesn't go very well.
Recipe for disaster.
Yep.
But it was just really weird because, like, so Honey Boo Boo was like crying about something and issues with her mom, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, people watch this for entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, her misery, her literal pain and suffering is our juicy, not mine, but like people's juicy drama to watch. And I'm like, what a world, what a strange world, right?
Yep.
And I can just click it here on my phone, boop, and I'm just in my living room watching somebody across the country crying.
I have a hard time with most reality TV shows, so it's weird that I'm like totally into true crime. I think it's just like the narration and storytelling.
Oh my gosh,
that probably is like the major like turn on for me, where I'm like, oh yeah. But my favorite's always been Forensic Files, because I just super respect like the science of figuring out like, you know, who did it, and you know, all this crazy stuff that you know didn't realize that they could like use to track someone down. One episode, like, it was glitter.
What?
Like, yeah, there was glitter on the, like, in this guy's truck, and it was like the same glitter that this chick had bought.
Oh my
and
gosh.
that company only made like a certain amount of batches of it being cut in that shape.
What?
Yeah, glitter. So that's why I love Forensic Files, because I don't need the juicy details of like what happened to the person or why. Like, I want to know about the people who solve it and get like, you know, vindication for the people who have been murdered.
Right.
That's my jam.
Yeah, no, that's
there's not enough of that.
Can you imagine, like, little did she know when she bought that glitter and put it on that she was avenging her own death?
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine?
Like, whoa.
She was just, you know, she just wanted like her party to be snazzy. And
makes me feel like now I need to buy like specialty everything just in case.
This is one of a kind.
Yeah, this lip balm is from a farmer's market made by an old woman who gathers her honey from bees in a far off village.
And she makes sure to take notation of every person that ever purchases it from her, so she can track it. Yeah, that's legit. Because she lives in a bunker. And like
that bunker was made in 1942 by a gentleman who only handcrafts things from his. It's like this infinite loop of like specialty.
Yeah, that's legit. See, like, we'll be fine. Like.
And that's how I got this lip gloss.
Vindicated. Oh, I guess we could like name the lip gloss that, Vindicated. That'd be a good shade.
Yeah, I'd wear it.
All right, well, do you want to do your intro and let people know why they're listening to us today?
Oh gosh, I might even just do it. Should I do it on my own in my bedroom, or like?
Yeah, I would just pre-record it and just be like, this is a conversation from, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I think this is such a fun idea, like literally.
Yep. Like motivational nuggets and a facial. Like, what more do you need?
And potential ASMR sprinkled in there.
I like it. Yeah, because they're gonna hear like those scrubs and like all the things.
Right now, my forehead sounds like pop rock to my mouth. Only it's in my forehead.
Weird.
Is that what is this?
This is a scrub.
Just a regular scrub?
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like that, what's that thing?
Well, it's like an AHA scrub. It's got like sugar in it.
Ooh, it
Yeah.
smells really good.
Yes, it's a sugarcane scrub with citrus.
Nice.
But yeah, that is very ASMR. Yeah, so probably after the scrub portion. It would like
I'm interested to see.
They're like, I can't take this.
Well, there's gonna be that one person who's like, yes.
No.
Louder.
Is it gonna be like this every episode? I need it.
Get that sugar scrub on there again.
Sugar scrub every episode.
And then like I just end up having my podcast turn to this weird thing that I never intended it to, where I'm like feeling forced to have ASMR in each episode.
Yeah, we'll just like find different things to like scrape our nails over and
oh
yeah,
gosh,
all kinds of things. It's
have
fun.
you seen the ones where they're eating too?
Yeah, see, my best friend has a thing about being able to hear people eat, so she would literally like lose her mind.
Yeah, I don't like it when people talk with where they chew like. Like, have you ever known people who do that? Or?
Well, so unfortunately, my husband's jaw makes some sort of weird noise whenever he's chewing, and I literally like will shoot him daggers sometimes, and he's just like, I'm just eating. But you know, like he's one of those people that has to chew like 23 times.
Oh gosh.
So you're just like, are you done?
Goodness. It's over. Just swallow your food.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Can you tell any difference in my skin at all? It's okay if the answer is no.
No, it looks good. I mean, I can see what you're talking about, like having like, you know, a few breakouts, but I mean, as far as like the texture of your skin and everything, like
it looks better.
Yeah, it does.
That's cool. I think part of it too might be boxing, because I have my hands at my chin, and when I wear the helmet, and I'm getting punched in the face by people's sweaty gloves. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sounds hot. Where do you box at? That's really cool.
I box at 5 Point Boxing.
Oh yeah,
in Cleveland.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I've been thinking about joining some sort of like kickboxing thing.
I would highly recommend it.
My pent-up aggression.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Honestly, I really encourage boxing or just martial arts in general as a way to like shift your focus, benefit your mental health, work out, have camaraderie and community. You know, release pent-up energy and emotions inside of you, and also just feeding a more confident aspect of yourself. You know how they say like parts of your personality that you don't feed die off. I had kind of noticed that I hadn't really felt tough or strong in a while, and and I felt like boxing, one of the reasons I joined, because I wanted boxing to be an avenue for me to kind of feed that part of myself and feel confident, feel tough and strong, so there I am. It's one reason.
Well, that's really cool. I hadn't really ever thought about it like that you lose aspects like of yourself that you don't like, cater to and utilize. I think that's really easy too, like becoming a parent is, like spontaneity and things like that in your life just die off. And so it's not necessarily that people intend to become like a boring adult, but like that becomes like your setting.
The slippery slope.
Yeah, you can't just like throw caution to the wind and just be like, oh yeah, it's fine, it'll work out, whenever you're the one that's in charge of like a whole other person.
Right, because if it's just you and it doesn't work out, then great. And then when you're married and it doesn't work out, oh crap, I'm affecting someone else.
Right.
Then when you have a kid, it just amplifies.
Yeah, right, because when you were younger, if you messed up, you can move home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like no one wants to move home once you've been like an adult and you're like in charge of other people. So
yeah,
it's it's a whole different realm of what it means to be, motivated, and, all of that encompassing, how do you do, I don't know, like, not just the focus aspect, but also still feeling like you have that relationship to with yourself at the same time that you're trying to be, you know, super motivated and on top of it. So
yeah,
some days I'm better at it than others.
I mean, I can imagine there would be seasons, where you kind of get lost in the mix of that, and then you kind of are like, oh my gosh, this is happening to me, and then you kind of stop that, and then after a while, the season kind of comes back. I was literally talking to one of the volunteers I work with today, and she is, I think, like 42 maybe, and she was literally telling me how she tries to make sure that she doesn't lose herself, even though she's been married for 16 years and she's a kid. She's like, I still have to, at the end of the day, make sure that I'm, not losing my... Sorry, that literally just distracted me.
No, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm paying for this. This is what I need.
It's extraction time.
Oh, gosh.
I'll try to go gentle on you so you can still, sound super intelligent. But no, that really is so important. And I mean, it's hard. Like, some days you're better at it than others,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it's like you want to still have your own identity. And as women, you know, we tend to be nurturers, but you can't nurture people if you're not nurturing yourself, you know, because like
Right.
the buck stops here. You know, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's really hard to take care of other people.
Right.
So, you know, I feel like the pursuit of balance is probably like, you know, like my daily pursuit with it. Because, you know,
Yeah.
when I was in my 20s, I mean, I wasn't really like a highly motivated person until I really figured out like what I wanted to do.
Right.
And so I have a hard time kind of backing off from that.
Right.
But I've actually been doing a lot better with balance lately.
Good. And, you know, I feel like sometimes people look at maybe parents or adults or whatever who try and carve time out for themselves as maybe older generations or certain people might look at that as
Selfish?
yes,
Yeah.
selfish. But what I was going to say is I feel like it's actually the opposite of that because
Yeah,
like you
self-care.
said, right, because if
Yeah,
you
self-love isn't like a bad thing. And, you know, I say that all the time. Like, it's just so crazy how everyone has taken something that should be good and has turned it into something so ugly because you actually think of yourself, like, God forbid you want to actually like make sure that you're okay mentally. You know, people who are not healthy, like in their heart and in their mind, end up abusing those closest to them. So,
Yeah.
you know, why would you not want to make sure that like you de-stress and that you have some time to like get with your friends or do a craft or, you know, work out and get out that stuff so you don't take that home to your family.
Yeah, exactly. I always think of like the oxygen mask analogy, how they
Yeah.
say you should, you know, first give yourself oxygen, then to the kids. It's
Yep.
the literal same thing with like your energy and your
Yeah.
time. Like if you're always depleted and always run down and tired and stressed out and feeling depressed because you don't know who you are anymore, you've
Yep.
blended into so many different things and people, then it's like, of course you're going to be better if you take the time to not be in that position, or at least
Right.
try and, you know, I don't know, stave it off a bit.
Yeah, I think some people, you know, they kind of have that like martyr aspect of their personality, you know. They're very duty based, and so because of that, like they'll just continue to put themselves last. Like I know my husband is like that. Like, you know, he does what he has to because like, you know, he's such a duty person. He works, he comes home, he helps equally with my daughter, sometimes more. And that's whenever I get to be selfish. I'm like, I'm taking a bath. Y'all have fun.
I'll be in the bathroom.
Right. Don't bother me. But, you know, it's like there's times when I'm like, you know, because I'm a healthy amount of selfish, you know, where I can just be like, listen, like, you need to do something with a friend. Like, you haven't done anything in a while. Like, this is going to be good for you. But there's a lot of people that just, it's too easy for them to get, you know, lost in that.
That's good that you're there to balance them out.
Well, sometimes I'm better at it than other times. But that's with everything, you know.
Is it really satisfying for you to like get all these like dead things out of people's skin?
100%, yeah. I'm like, you know, it would be creepy if I made it audible, like how much I enjoy it. But just imagine that there's a lot
Would
of,
I not be laying here right now? Would I have to get up and
Probably.
leave?
I'd be like, oh yeah. Yeah, you'd probably
There's that pus and built up skin and dirt.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're just like, I don't know about her. Like, I thought she was pretty cool.
She seemed normal when I walked in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no, I've just always been a picker, and so it just became something like, you know, I guess like it should gross me out to do this on someone else, but it really doesn't.
that's funny.
It's gratifying, and then, you know, I'm doing something to help someone, so, you know, it's like win-win.
I feel like you're that one person in high school who would see someone with a pimple and be like, "Come here, let me pop that."
Well, thankfully, I wasn't.
Did you ever have a friend like that though? I knew people in high school who would get excited when people, oh gosh, my nose.
I know, I'm sorry, the nose is the worst.
Oh, that's
It's
okay.
okay, you take a break from talking, and I'll talk. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't have any friends like that, but, you know, there's a...
You're like, because I was normal.
Yeah, basically. Was is the operative word. Then you experience your own, like, you know, like childhood and high school trauma. And
Oh,
then,
gosh.
You know, and then you become who it is you're supposed to be in your 20s, I guess.
Yeah. If you're lucky.
Yeah, sure. You know, I mean, it takes some people some time, and that's okay. You know, like life paths and how, like, what you're motivated by and where you're headed is, you know, not always a straight path for people. Sometimes it's pretty windy,
Yeah.
you know?
And I feel like, too, you know, like some people say you shouldn't get married till you know who you are. And I'm just like, I get that and I understand that, but I feel more so maybe it's better not necessarily to know who you are, but to know where you stand and your morals and your goals and what you want in a partner and out of life, because I feel like who you are changes so many times throughout your life.
It does, yeah, and they're going to change too, so
Right.
you can't 100% be like solid on, you know, some of the aspects of your partner.
Right.
I feel like it's important to go into it realizing that you're going to change and that your goal should be trying to figure out how to grow with that other person and how to fight for still loving that person dependent on what type of person they become and what type of person you become. And when you're ready to be in that fight, I feel like that's when you should get married. Because I mean, I can't really say that I knew who I was whenever my husband and I were getting married, but like I knew who I wanted to be, and like he made me want to be, you know, something better than I was and how I'd been living. And you know, he also showed me like what, you know, like what real love was like and how you should be treated. And it was almost like it just kind of felt like this like gift from God where he just like laid it down at my feet and was just like, every time that something didn't work out for you, sorry, I'm such a softie when it comes to my husband.
No.
But it's like, you know, for me, it's just like, man, he was just like, duh, like, this is what I had waiting for you if you would have just been patient.
Wow.
You know, like, this is it.
Wow.
And it's just awesome. Like, I have a best friend type of marriage. Like, you know, my husband, he's just like, golly, he's a better person than me. But he's just like kind and patient, which I definitely need for my personality type. I'm so extra, and like I said, I have no problem being selfish, but like he's just, I don't know, he has the patience of Job. So
Oh wow, that's a lot of patience.
it is. Like, I honestly don't know how like someone like that can exist, but
Wow.
you know, it does. And I know I have to like push him a lot, and he's still just, you know, like he doesn't really crack. So
Wow. I'm so glad you found that.
me too, but you know, I could be wrong, and maybe I'll be in one of those true crime stories.
Oh my
one day.
gosh. It was all an act.
Yes. Like, she just thought that he was able to like handle that and like not explode.
Yeah, the pent up aggression built through the years.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got married to him?
29.
29.
Yeah. I wanted to wait for, you know, marriage and kids and things like that, and then, you know, I mean, it just wasn't falling into place anyways. And I, you know, Lord, I think I watched so much TV when I was growing up that I kind of had this like idealistic point of view for what career and love and things like that were going to be about. You know, someone was going to notice me and then like want to give me a corner office and a really cool job because like I was going places.
Yeah.
And that's not really like reality.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a really big, you know, kind of like issue for, you know, a lot of people got super spicy talking about like millennials, but it's like we came from a really idealistic, you know, type of childhood about like dreaming big and you can be anything that you want to be, but not necessarily given the steps to figuring like how to do that.
Right.
You know?
It's like sometimes you feel like life is just going to happen or fall in your lap, but it doesn't. You like have to make it happen, which is crazy because I had that rough wake up call at one point. I feel like, honestly, even beyond millennials, that's just a wake up call that a lot of people face at some point or another. Like, oh crap, I have to craft this myself. Like, you know, you kind of like picture how your life will unfold at a certain age, at a certain point, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and like, you know, whenever I guess like during my services, I would call it kind of like counseling, you know, that I do with like, you know, younger girls. It's just like, listen, the only difference between you and someone that's doing it is just the fact that they're doing it.
Oh, man.
It's literally it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but you can't teach the art of hustle.
Yeah.
It's like something that you kind of just have to like discover, where you're like, oh my God, this is really working.
Right.
Like everything that I'm putting into this is like coming back, but it's, you know, being diligent. And it's like such a high for me whenever I'm like checking off these boxes, where I'm just like, you know, wow, like I had the most recommendations like through the small business networking group, and wow, like
Congrats.
thank you. And it's like, wow, I'm booked out 3 weeks, and wow, now I can't take, you know, new clients for lash extensions. And it's just like every time something gets checked off, like it's such like this like high.
Yeah.
But I have to also learn how to, like we were talking about, pull back from that, because it's like easier to get obsessed with that next nugget of success. So one, you can do anything that you want to do as long as you actually just do it. And two, don't overdo it.
Create a work ethic and a hustle that is sustainable.
Yeah. But, you know, of course it's going to change. I mean, it was just my husband and I whenever I started the business. And so it was okay to throw, you know, more into it because, you know, he like understood, and it's healthy to have space from your spouse and create that, like, you know, want and missing them. And so if I had to work till 9 o'clock at night before a holiday to get people in, like, you know, it just was what it was.
Right.
We were in the building years, but, you know, now it's like our goal is about being present and about not letting that take center stage.
Yeah.
Which is hard, because this is the thing that's mine. You know, out of everything, this is mine. So I've done good. I've gone down to 4 days.
Good.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, honestly. That's amazing, really.
Yes.
My gosh. So the other days, you just like hang with your family?
Yeah. I just want more time to be a mom.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm a role model that can show her that, like, you know, you can make something happen and you can bust it out and you can build it from the ground level yourself, even if you don't come from money. You know, I mean, I don't. Like, my parents, my mom didn't work most of the time, and my dad was a contract worker who did, like, cable TV work. And so, you know, we had a really small income, and I never really felt like I went without growing up, but there also wasn't any sort of, like, you know, fund for me whenever it was time to figure out what I wanted to do. So, you know, you can come from nothing and still make something of yourself, and, like, you know, start little and build. Like, it's fine. Like, that stuff shouldn't prevent you from going places. You just have to figure it out. And sometimes it means it'll take longer for you to do it. If you have to pay your own way for something, you know, but that shouldn't stop you just because you're not set up like someone else is. Because that person who, you know, so-called has it easier isn't going to do it the way that you do it. You know, and I just really feel like we don't have interests by chance, you know. Like, I really feel like God lays things on us on purpose. It's these nuggets that are trying to like lead us to be like the person that we're supposed to be, and to like the direction of how we can be of service to other people.
Yeah. I like that last part, to be of service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you take your interests and the things that are in your life, or the talents that you have, and kind of use them to be of service, and not make it all about me. But because, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, I have this is for me, but it's like, you have this, but, you know, kind of like with being blessed to bless others, you have these interests and talents to also help others with them.
Right, exactly. So, you know, some people might look at being like an esthetician, makeup artist, doing lashes, waxing, facials, things like that as like super frivolous, but like, I get to, one, be a confidant for people that, you know, can't tell something to someone else. I get to help them through stages of their life. I get to help them feel better about themselves so that they put themselves out more. I just feel like when you feel like you look good, you feel better about yourself, and you'll try things that maybe you haven't tried before because you have like that boost of confidence, you know? And so, like, I just feel like anyone that looks at it like that is just ignorant, because I really am like behind the scenes helping people. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So, you know, to me, I feel like that's like how I'm of service.
100%. And exactly, I don't think to be of service it has to be like, oh, I'm a nurse, or oh, I work with the elderly, or oh, it's like anything you do can be used as a platform. you know. And that's what's so nice about like this, like you said, it's just people in their everyday life. Like they're not coming in here probably expecting to be so uplifted by you, but then they get to walk out with that, you know.
Yeah, you know, which is awesome. And you never know like where you're going to get that, you know, like those like people that have been like set in your, you know, path for that particular reason. So like the design is pretty cool. You're just like, oh, okay, I just went in there so I'd like get some good skin, and now like, all right, like I'm feeling pretty sad about my life right now.
I'm a strong independent woman.
Yeah, right. It's also really funny to me that I have like gotten myself in a position where I can actually motivate anybody else, because like I used to be the least motivated person ever.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I was like a lot of people in their 20s just like, you know, being of the flesh and running around and having a good time, and you know, ignoring like my, you know, conscious and like everything else that I'd ever like learned and was taught as far as like how I should conduct myself. And so yeah, I mean, when you get off course like that, like it's hard to have any sort of focus towards something that's healthy. So
what are some of the things that helped you gain your focus and motivation?
You know, I went through, I guess, kind of like a scarier time in my life with a relationship, and got out of something where I felt just like mentally just, you know, kind of like abused in a way. Like the person I was with always had a list of things that was wrong with me, and you know, you just get tired of like feeling put down like that. And I, you know, I like to tell people, like, if you ever have like those thoughts about yourself, like that's not God. You know, God is like love and uplifting you, and shame and everything else is like of the devil. So, you know, like it's funny, like that saying where it's like, not today, Satan. But for real, a lot of times I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna need you to back up.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to have a good day.
Right.
But I got myself in a situation where I felt like I had to depend on somebody who was unhealthy for me. And it was a really scary place to be in, because like, you know, I didn't have a lot of money, and I felt kind of trapped. And I realized that like, you know, I needed to just like humble myself and try to figure out how to put my life back together. So I had moved out of the place that I was living with that person, and I moved in with my dad. And I mean, I didn't have any furniture at this time because I just moved home from Seattle. And I had clothes in a garbage bag, and I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor because like my dad didn't have furniture for me or anything. And I enrolled in school like that next week.
Esthetician school?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was finally going to get to a point to where I didn't have to depend on my parents or another person. Like I was ready to do right by myself, and it's really sad, but it took me until I was 27 years old.
So that's when you enrolled at 27?
Yeah.
Wow, and then at 29 you met your husband.
Well, actually, we were already friends.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you got married at 29.
Yeah.
Well, I was 29, we just married, didn't even know him.
Yeah, so I'm feeling empowered, right? I'm just like, I don't need a man.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a career. And then he and I reconnected literally right before I started school. And I was like, okay, this is not exactly what I was planning on. And it was crazy. So it's like I started at the ground level working on my career, and then had this person that was like, what you're doing is amazing. I know how hard and how important it is to go back to school, and like you're doing it. And it's like, oh, whoa, okay.
Motivation?
Yeah.
Positivity? Encouragement?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then it just flourished from there. Like it's just like we basically like met up, reconnected, and then just never stopped being together. So it was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And like I really had no intention of being with anyone for a really long time.
What's crazy, I think too, is sometimes like when you're walking in your purpose,
Yeah.
and in God's will, it's just wild how certain things line up, and then when you're out of it, how certain things just fall apart.
Oh no, it's like so true, because it's like you think that you know what it's like when a door opens, but you literally have no idea until all of a sudden like everything just like you turn around and it just falls into place like crazy.
Yeah.
And that's even been happening lately with the business. Like, you know, I wanted other people in here, and a girl that I knew reached out to me, and she wanted out of her situation, and she's super talented, and like, you know, I want people who are motivated and have a clientele and, you know, like can handle their own. And she came, and then like another person that she knows reached out to me. It was just like crazy. I'm just kind of like riding this wave right now where I'm like, God, I mean, you're just laying this at my feet, so like I'm just gonna roll with it because I'm assuming this is from you because of how effortless this is. So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like, all right, that's fine. I'm just like co-pilot, like letting this happen. Jesus, take the wheel. Like it's on.
Take the wheel, take the map, take everything.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, definitely having someone in your life that's super supportive because, you know, my husband was with me from the very beginning of this portion of my life. And anytime that I want to go out on a ledge and do something crazy that could put us in a financial strain, he's just like, I trust you. I trust your vision. I trust where you see yourself going.
Wow.
Go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You know, they like to say, like, behind every good man is, like, a good woman.
Yeah.
It's, like, the opposite for us. It's just, like, he's like, you got this. And I'm like, I do got this. And he's like, all right, we'll figure it out. And, like, you know, he's like, jump. It's fine. I got you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we're in 2020, like, after a shutdown and a pandemic and all of this stuff. And I opened a business. So, like, that's so not me. I was just like, are you sure, God? I don't know about this. I don't think I should sign a lease right now. We don't know when everything's going to open back up. And he's like, did I stutter? I was just like, people are like, you're so brave. And I'm like, I just learned a long time ago, if you don't listen to God, there's a small voice. And if you keep ignoring it, it gets louder. And then at one point, he pulls the rug out from underneath you, drops you to your knees. Woo. And then at that point, you're just like, this could have been so much easier if I would have just listened the first time.
Literally. And you know what's funny? We talked about this last time I came in, and that has stuck with me since the 2 months that I was here. Like, it's almost like your voice is like echoing, like it's transformed now into my voice, but I just hear like, walk in his purpose, walk in his will, and not like a threatening kind of way, but at the same time I do kind of get anxious. Like, I'm like, I need to get on this podcast. I need to freaking like contact people, and I need to like go get my facial, record this episode, like reach out to people, like record my monologues, do my meditations, and record them. You know,
the small voice stuff is like legit, man. Like, you know, like, it's there for a reason, and you have to follow it. Like, it's literally your internal compass of like leading you in the direction that you're supposed to go. So I mean, it's okay to be afraid. Like, I get it. That's what I'm telling the girls that are like coming on here. Talk to me about what you're freaked out about, your reservations. Like, I know it's scary, and I hate to tell you, it's never gonna not be scary, like doing something new that has risk. But, like, you can't reap rewards if you're not willing to get out of your comfort zone. And if it's in you and you want to do it, that's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's God being like, you can really do this. No.
That quiet little whisper, like,
yeah.
You got this.
Yeah, like, really, really. And you're like, really? But, nah,
But really,
Yep, exactly.
Like slowly slips finger on lips.
Yep. And then just a little pat on your head.
Yeah.
And then he's just like,
a little slap on the face.
Yeah, he's just like, you're so pretty. It's okay. You don't have to be smart. You just But yeah, it's like that. Like, so I mean, you know, it's good. I sometimes with different stages I'm just like, is this real life?
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I'm really just letting like him lead this path right now.
Amen.
I didn't think that it would grow this fast from opening in May till now. It's like the end of September, and I have, you know, 2 employees coming on, and I've had to close my books, and, you know, it's just like, it's not me, you know. I mean, it's me, but it's like, you know, what God's like allowed me to do in my life, like, you know, period. So
right.
And I feel like you also have to humble yourself enough to say that again and again and realize that, you know, these are blessings.
Yes.
You know, these are gifts that have been given to you, you know.
Because we get so, like, used to things, and as time passes, like, good things and bad things, you just don't really notice them anymore, or you just kind of accept them as normal, when it's like, whoa, like, I need to, you know, remember now all the things that I've been given, and that this isn't, these are things I used to pray for or want.
Right?
you know, and then just unfold magically.
Well, and we get a little egocentric too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look at everything I've done.
Oh gosh, I know. And then the second it all crumbles,
Yeah.
then you're like, God, please,
are
I'm
you?"
so sorry. Like,
Yep,
it's like, take me back. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly. So yeah, it's just about like humbling yourself. It's like, yeah, you know, you deserve to celebrate when you've done a good job and what you've accomplished. But, you know, you have to remember, like, you know, what it's all for and who it's all from. So you can have both. It's okay.
It's good that you remind yourself, though. That is something that I kind of struggle with, too. Like, being humble, but also building myself up and allowing myself to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I went through a lot of mental health crap in January and stuff, and the following months, and to this day, sometimes I want to uplift myself and feel good about things I've done and how far I've come, but then I get scared. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, you know, all about me and me thinking I brought myself completely on my own out of that. But the same token, like, I want to allow myself to feel good and to feel strong and to let myself take a compliment from myself. But you know what I mean? Like, walking that line of not teetering too much towards,
Yeah.
I'm nothing, but also not teetering too much towards, I did this on my own and God didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And, it, you know, it's just, you can have both. You can be like, I'm really proud of me and where I've come, but I also know that, you know, it was through grace and strength from God.
Right.
So, like, you know, he propelled me to go in this direction, but then I still had to do the work for myself.
That's true.
Yeah. And, like, you know, that's basically, you know, having the human experience. We have a choice.
Gosh.
You know, but your life will definitely be harder if you don't if you don't move with the flow.
Right.
So
Stop trying to fight it all the time.
yeah, that's when everything gets a little complicated.
Yeah.
I've been liking things to be a little bit easier, and you know, we had touched on this before when you came in about how, you know, it'd be really easy for me to take like a tally of how hard this like, you know, year's been, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like a pandemic. I have a toddler, so that's scary enough. Everything started shutting down. My professional was deemed, you know, non-essential, which, by the way, I think was like one of the worst classifications they could have like come out with.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. What the heck?
Because that was such a blow to me. You know, thinking like, okay, so I'm in charge of making sure that like my family's taken care of, because I don't believe in gender roles. Like, it's a partnership. And, you know, just hearing non-essential, like, really, like, cut me and made me feel like, you know, I wasn't doing right by my family because I wasn't doing something like,
essential, quote unquote.
Right, yeah. Something, like, more meaningful with my life. Like, how dare I do something so frivolous, like we just talked about.
Right.
And, you know, we had that. We were affected by the tornado on Easter Sunday. And then, you know, the place that I worked needed to relocate, and so I went out on my own. And that's a lot of stuff to happen in a short amount of time. And yeah, I mean, I had moments where it was super traumatic, but I believe in order to move forward and to be a person who is productive and motivated, you have to feel your feels. And I give myself one day. You get a one-day pity party when something happens. You feel it, you throw your tantrum, you cry, you know, do kickboxing, whatever it is that you've got to do to get those feelings out. And the next day is what now? You know?
I dated a guy in high school who had the same mentality his mom taught him. Like, he was legit same one. He said, if I'm sad, I get one day.
Yeah.
I feel it, I process it, and then I move forward.
Yeah. Because it's just like, the thing is if you stay in that space, you know, and you wallow in it, like, then you're not tackling, like, what's, you know, next. And it's harder for you to see your way out of it. So, and then suppression is so unhealthy. And if you continuously stuff things down and suppress everything, then, like, that's going to hold you back from being able to, like, do what it is you've got to do.
Right.
And be successful. So, you know, I think someone told me that Beyonce, actually, that's her practice too. She gets one day to feel her feels, and then she has to go back to being queen bee. So
Oh, wow.
I'm going to grab the tool, so
yeah,
I'm going to slide this way.
Did you do that thing on my face where you rub it and make all the dead skin pile up?
I did, yeah.
So did you get as much as last time, or did you get less?
You know, I can't say that I remember every time that I get to...
True. I want the exact details. How many ounces? What coloration?
How many ounces of dead skin did you get on my face? All right, slide this way. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of dermaplaning in this area.
What does that mean?
I'm going to shave off some dead skin and a little bit of your peach fuzz.
Ooh,
you're welcome.
The peach fuzz.
Yeah, the peach fuzz.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
They say, you know how the old wives' tales say...
Yeah, that's not true.
Do you know what's coming up?
I do, yeah. So it does not come back coarser or darker. What happens is that you take something that has a natural tapered end and you're cutting it to a blunt end, and so a blunt end on a hair is going to feel coarser to you. Yeah, but it's not true. As far as like it actually growing backwards, because I mean, think about it, like how could you hormonally change someone's hair? Because you know that's kind of like what, you know, affects like your hair growth and its texture and the color and stuff like that. So, and plus we're not even ripping it out by its root, so there's no way that we're even like affecting the follicle where, you know, your blood supply and all that is.
That's cool to know.
Yeah, it's a load of baloney.
Yeah, I noticed my right cheek kind of looks a little more rough in terms of acne or whatever. I used to never get acne on my cheeks, so like I don't know. Maybe again it's boxing and keeping my hands up to my face a lot and wearing the headgear sometimes. The face guards are right there on my face.
How often do you change your pillowcase? Not often enough. Yeah, it's okay.
No, not often. I have a silk one though. That's me trying.
That's good. Yeah, you should work on changing it more, because we don't think about that. We're just like, yeah, you know, that's where I sleep and I go there after I shower ish most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, that stuff, like, you know, you leave it behind. Just like, no, you're fine. Here. There you go. But you know, just like if you wear a dirty mask, you know, your skin, you break out.
Yeah.
So you are wearing a...
My gosh, I just saw so much peach fuzz on that little blade of yours.
You're welcome.
I've never done this to my face before.
Yeah. It just... Sorry. It just felt right.
Well, thank you.
You're like, I didn't realize that I needed that. Thank you, one, for giving me a new compliment.
What? Yeah. What's that? What's this? Oh my gosh. This was on my face?
Yeah.
Get out. I wish people who are maybe listening to this could see the fluff.
Just don't move too much. I really don't want to, like, you know,
kill me. Cut my
jugular. Who is the Sweeney Todd?
Yes.
Yeah, let's not make that situation.
Whoa. My gosh. I know you just told me that my hair won't grow back worse, but my brain is still like, but what if it does? What if I become...
It won't. It just might, like, whenever it starts to grow back, you might be like, okay, that's weird. I can kind of feel that, but it'll be fine, I promise.
So it won't be super visual?
No, it's not going to be visual. It's still in there. I've only, like, given it a haircut.
Okay.
It's still in your pore, in the hair follicle. It's still,
oh, gotcha.
You know, it still belongs there. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. You're okay.
So you're getting the dead skin, too?
Yep.
Whoa. It's like little cute little tumbleweeds of peach fuzz.
Yep. And it's mixed, with that like top layer of skin. Just want to make sure you're really good and exfoliated today, because...
Thanks. And I also bought these unscented face wipes.
Yeah.
So I can, I try to use them when I get out of the gym.
Here, hold on for a second. We'll just give people like an intermission. You like hum during this later. Now a word from our sponsor.
Hopefully one day. And I meant to wax my lip before I came here just to impress you, but then I just didn't.
Oh my god, you're so funny. I like that. You're like, just to impress you. So you didn't see that I had any facial hair. One, you barely have anything going on, so you're fine. And you're just like, oh my god, you're gonna shave that? It's gonna grow back black. It's not. I mean, your brain's there. It's gonna be fine.
I'm just gonna blame it on the fact that I have OCD, so.
That's okay. Just blame it on that. You know, like, obsess over it and look it up to, fact check what I told you, and that's okay.
I won't. I promise you I won't.
I'm not even offended.
I've heard it's a wife's tale anyways, and that's why I kind of worded it that way.
Okay, hold on.
Are you laughing at the little
I
sounds?
try to be very careful.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like,
Don't make me laugh.
hey.
Okay. I feel like that would be very fulfilling as well.
Oh, doing something like this?
Yeah, getting all these little pieces of hairs off my face.
You're gonna die whenever I tell you how they trained us to do this.
How they train you to do
So
it.
one of my previous jobs, I won't say which one, they're just like got the scalpel blades in. They're like, yeah, here you go, it's cool. And we practice on the inside of our legs.
Oh!
We had to
What?
practice holding the skin taut, and then you would know how much pressure to put down and feel. So yeah, you know, we just practice on ourselves, and then did it on someone's face. Like that was normal.
Oh gosh. Just imagine like a big inside
That
of
was
a thigh.
years ago, though. So you know, I've had a lot of other guinea pigs since then.
That's funny.
You're welcome.
My lip feels so smooth.
But
Well,
yeah.
better at least.
So going back to what I was trying to say, though, it's like, you know, it'd be really easy for someone to sit around and take a tally of what's happened to us this year and just be like, man, like, it's just a horrible year.
Right.
But I really instead look at it like, you know, God had some lessons for me to learn that I had not been learning. And, you know, I had been hoping to get a more grateful heart. Yes, that might be stinky, and that's normal.
It smells great.
No, not stinky, stingy.
Oh.
I really did, because, like, you know, I felt like I was an ungrateful brat, you know? Like, because you can get too used to wanting the next stage, right? I want a nicer car. I want a better house. I want, you know, this type of job. Like, I want to be able to do this because, you know, it's going to help us with this. And, you know, after a while, you kind of feel like you're just never satisfied. And I just really had been weighing on me and feeling that, and I didn't want to be ungrateful anymore. And whenever we faced losing everything we had in not one way but two, it's just like I just wanted to be able to hold on to what we did have, and was so grateful for, you know, not losing our house financially, but not losing it due to a natural disaster as well. So that's really just helped my mindset. I feel, I don't know, like the edges of life have been shaved off for me this year, and I just don't really let things get to me as much, you know. Wellbutrin helps too, but, you know, God and then Wellbutrin. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's been an amazing year for me. Like, I'm so grateful for a reset. I mean, I got 2 months off with my kid paid. I would never do because I'm a workaholic.
Right.
So, you know, it's really not that bad.
No, and it's good that, you know, you take the time to have that perspective. Because it's true, sometimes you need those wake-up calls, or you need to sit down and talk with someone about how far you've come, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that was my existence, that was my day-to-day.
Yeah.
And then it kind of gives you that reminder, you know, if not from your life, then at least someone else's, you know, like,
Absolutely.
this is where I am right now. And some people, like, isn't there like some saying, like, what you have is someone else's prayers or something like that?
Yeah.
Which it's true, honestly. There's always something to be grateful for. And I feel like as well, like, the brain is so powerful. Like, if you're always focusing on the negative, then that's what you'll bring towards yourself, and then that's what you'll see. But if you can, like, somehow manage to shift it and see the glass half full, then that's what you'll kind of start to see more so, and you'll start to feel more positive and better in your life.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I mean,
you know, it's hard to stay in that.
Right.
You know, I get that. And, you know, you slide sometimes and you start coveting something else, but, you know, that's normal.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of an illusion too. Like the thought of, when I get this blank, I will be happy.
Right.
Because it's like, no, you won't, because what you have now is what you said you would be happy if you got.
Right.
You know, like when I finish this degree, or whenever I, you know, find this boyfriend, or I get this
build a
car.
house,
Yes.
or, yeah.
Because then you get the house, and it's like, well, what about that house? Or then you get the job, and, well, how about that job? It's just, there's always something else that you could have.
Right, exactly. Yep. So, just gotta keep things into perspective.
And it's kind of scary when you realize that, because in a sense, like, at least when I had that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, does this mean I'll never be happy? Because you think like, oh my gosh, people get rich and then they're still not happy. They get homeless and then they're still not happy. But then it's like, well, for one, there's more to life than happiness. But then for two, I feel like, no, it just means it's a good thing. You're having that wake up call now rather than when you do reach these goals, and then you can start to be happy in this moment. And oh my gosh, this hurts.
Your brows will look amazing. It's okay.
Thank you.
Well, and that goes back to us talking about being motivated and having things laid on your heart. Just because, like, you want something more for yourself, it doesn't have to be unhealthy. It's about balance, just like everything else. Not
exactly.
Like things that some people like consider a sin, like other people can do, and it not like totally, like dismantle everything about their life. So everything has to come in moderation. You can be motivated and want things out of life, but not let that totally just like,
yes,
be your God.
Exactly. And I'm really big on complacency versus contentment.
Yes.
Like you can be content but still want more and still push further, but also at the same time acknowledge all the things that you do have in your life. And then there's complacency where you're just kind of like stuck and just
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
I think I pluck my eyebrows probably twice a year, maybe 4 times a year. Isn't that crazy? I feel like for you that'd be crazy.
Well, I've done one for so long. They just kind of like have their shape, and that's just that.
I got my eyebrows plucked professionally one other time, and it was before prom, and I cried. I looked in the mirror and my eyebrows were gone. Like they took off so much of my eyebrows that they had to the makeup guy had to kind of draw eyebrows on for me.
Oh, you mean that's not what you wanted this time too? Sorry.
Oops.
Just kidding. I'm just cleaning them up a bit for you.
Thank you.
The only thing that people can see, like when you're wearing your mask, is like your eyes. So
that's so true.
It's like might as well.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think she took off legit from here back. It was something crazy like that.
God.
Like the whole ends of my eyebrows were gone.
Oh wow.
I was like, because my eyebrows, I don't know if it's just in my head, but I feel like the hairs on them are long and they're kind of sparse. So if you take one hair, like certain hairs, it takes away a lot of my eyebrow.
Yeah, no.
It's like an illusion.
No, it's because they grow upwards, So if you take a lot from that lower part, then you can lose, some of your arch and all that. That's normal. I mean, for you to feel like it's easy for you to get your brows thinned out.
I can't wait to look at them.
Yeah. Me too. I've been doing this with my eyes closed. Just kidding.
Or am I? Dun dun dun. Do people's faces ever look weird staring at them upside down so long?
No.
Have you ever done that? Like you talk to someone at different angles, and after a while they look like an alien because you're just looking at them, and it's trippy. You're like, oh my gosh, you look so weird right now.
Well, I more so just make a person out of their chin.
I can bring in Google Eyes next time and put them on my chin.
Okay. That would be legit. Oops, sorry, microphone. I want to look at them this way. Yeah, you're just going to feel like a new woman today.
Thank you. I know. You went above and beyond with the peach fuzz. I can't believe how much peach fuzz was on my face. Oh my gosh. And I feel like I look at my face very closely. I mean, I could see it, but it was never I never noticed it that much.
Well, it didn't stick out to me until I used that enzyme that balled your dead skin up.
Uh-huh.
Because no. It's just that stuff can get hung up in peach fuzz.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, there's, a decent amount. I was like, I could sit here and try to pick and scrub it out, or I'll just cut it out because it's stuck in something for a reason. So why not just dermaplane it off?
Wow.
That way, she can have a new face.
You're like a wizard.
Yes,
like a face wizard.
Okay, we'll go with that. I like that. A face wizard.
Adds to resume.
Yeah, I like it. Yep. Just put that on my Insta bio.
Face wizard.
Okay.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Do you have any closing words for our episode?
You can do this.
Yes.
No, it's just, pick whatever it is, even if that ends up being something that you change later on, it's fine. I feel like so many people are afraid of, well, what if like this doesn't work out, and like I need to decide because like I shouldn't go back to school, or whatever. Like, dude, like just go for something. Just throw your energy at something, and sometimes the best way to figure out what you're supposed to do is by figuring out what you're not meant to do.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true too.
There's something to be said for failing. I feel like we all learn more from that. So, like be willing to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also I feel like for people who feel like it's too late for them, time's going to pass by regardless. So you might as well spend that time working towards what you want.
I always say that. Yes, exactly. Like, it's always going to pass you by. Like, I have clients that are, back in school in like their 50s and 60s, and it's just like, I mean,
why
seriously,
not?
Yeah.
Freaking why not?
Yeah.
You're existing, you're here, why not?
Yeah, if you're still wanting to work, then like, why not try to get a different job? Like, that's what you've always wanted to do.
Then go for it.
Yep, 100.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening, guys.
And so concludes episode 6. Again, thank you so much, Miss Michelle, for being so open to just recording with me. This actually reminded me I need another facial, so hopefully I can schedule one. She's busy, man. Business is booming, so she actually it takes 2 months until there's availability, so it might be a minute till the next episode comes out. But I got my hair cut today, and my friend Carly was like, dude, let's record an episode while I cut your hair. So this might be a bit of a reoccurring theme here every so often. But anyways, yeah, I'll include links below for the Lashery, and I hope you liked it.